Welcome back, fair use, fair use. So, I've been covering a couple of stories with this everybody mad at Trump thing, and asking black people to go to the Million Man March, right? And I said to myself, I guarantee you these people have no idea how to actually have a fucking rally. They're just gonna walk around, do absolutely nothing, right? I thought that was gonna be the worst of it. Not saying that you don't know exactly what to do, but when I seen certain footage of people just walking around and, no police are fucking doing anything, nothing's happening, people just walking around and, I said, oh yeah, that's why I don't do those things, because it doesn't do anything. If I was a king and I seen a bunch of my peasants walking around in the streets, I'm gonna laugh at you while I eat fucking steak and fucking play with my balls.
It's no surprise that anti-Trump protesters aren't very smart. But footage from the hands-off protests across America over the weekend has exposed just how dumb these demonstrators are. Like this protester who held up a sign berating Trump for being a fascist, but turns out he doesn't even know what a fascist is.
So what makes Trump a fascist? What makes Trump a fascist?
He does things without
You gotta talk loud. I don't have my mic on.
No, I'm not really too confused.
Sorry?
He just does.
So now, you know how black people constantly say, why do you come to the hood, pick the stupidest nigga you can find and interview him? Why? When there's so many other smart black people in the hood that could, not look like a goofy goof fucking ball, but, have coherent words and know what the fuck they're saying. Now you guys get to get that, but at least that's what I thought this was, and then to find out it's even worse.
He just does everything he wants and, not following laws or, he's a convicted felon, that's all I know.
So, I guess anybody that's a convicted felon's a fascist? Okay.
But your sign says he's a fascist, and I'm just curious what makes him a fascist.
And to make matters worse, when asked why he was at the protest, he simply said, because he saw people hanging out.
Oh, okay. So what brings you...
Why are you at this crime scene? Because I seen a whole bunch of people, and there's a black guy in a business suit, so why you asking me, the crackhead looking nigga? Huh?
You guys out here today?
Just because I saw people were hanging out with people from...
Yeah, same thing as everyone else, executive overreach.
Because everybody, I was watching people, and I seen people, so, I don't give a fuck about what's going on. I just want to be around. We're geeks, and we haven't seen people and women in so long that I don't give a fuck what they're doing out there. I just want to be around other people. That's sad. Like, seriously, that's... You got people in your rally that don't even give a fuck about what you're doing.
Protesters dressed in full garb to the Washington D.C. And it seems like the organisers couldn't secure the numbers they were hoping for, so they decided to bus in Islamist protesters dressed in full garb to the Washington D.C. protest.
I mean, you did call on black people, and we, said, nah, we did that like 60 years ago and got beat the fuck up for it. So how about you go out there and start, getting beat up for shit? Maybe shit'll get done. And then I made a couple of videos where the Latinos and the Mexicans and the whites, everybody was making videos about black people should go out there. And I said to myself, if you got all these different races of people asking black people to go out there, you don't even need us out there. You have multiple different groups, right? What the fuck why do you need us out there? That was my perfect example of why I knew most of us wasn't gonna go, for the simple fact of, why am I gonna go protest with most of the people in the world that hate me? You know? Remember when, like, you remember all the things that were said just couple of weeks ago? You know, all the things that were done? And now, everybody's like, wait up, they're not gonna treat us fair. We all need to unify. We said that 60 to a fucking 100 years ago. So, I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
Such little interest in the protest.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yous are so bad, yous gotta pay protesters to go, fight for their freedom. Really? What can I expect?
Shockingly, there was such little interest in the protest, the organisers were forced to pay people to march.
I was one of the paid protesters at the April 5th.
You know, if you would have said, like, oh, I watched a couple of videos where all these people were saying, black people, come with us. How come you didn't offer us money? Your last resort, after realizing we won't do it for free, is go pay your own people and anybody else left. That's so sad. Thank you. Thank you for demonstrating that you want me to get out there and bleed to death and be the spearhead. And while you're back there in the fucking cut getting paid to like scream and probably break things, so they attack us first. Get the fuck out of here. I'm glad we didn't go.
Liberal protest. And so I just wanted to come on and talk about my experience, what I had to do to get paid, and how much I got paid. So there were two kind of parts to it. The first was obviously just
power to the people. Power to the people. You mean dollars to the people. Dollars to you niggas is clowns.
showing up. They gave me like a time and a place and told me to look for a girl with blue hair and a nose ring, which like I thought would be really hard. Because I thought like everyone was gonna look like that, but luckily she was the only one. It was really easy to find her. So yeah, that was good.
Yeah, whatever. Nobody cares.
To answer.
And these Elon Musk haters were left speechless after being asked to explain why the billionaire is a Nazi.
Can somebody come get your fucking grandmother and your grandfather and tell them stop watching YouTube and the fucking late night news without actually writing down the things they want to say is the thing, so when people put you on camera, you don't sound like a complete 5-year-old. This is a fucking grown-ass, old-ass woman and man. And let's see what their answer is.
What? This is Elon Musk. It's supposed to be Elon, right? What makes him a Nazi?
Well, did you see his
Hitler salute! His Hitler salute!
All right, anything else? Anything else?
Fuck
his
Elon
background? If
Musk
you go
and
study his
Hitler
personal
salute.
history, which is really interesting, you'll see for yourself like what his history reveals about himself and who he is and what he believes, and it comes from.
That's like what I used to say about black people. If you look at their head, they're monsters. They're just monsters. You have to fucking actually explain what the person's doing. This is not for 500 years ago when you could just say vague things and people go, okay, I believe you. You know? Like, what do you mean look up his history? You should have had at least 3 to 4 fucking things that he did so you can actually say, this is why I don't like this man. Oh, you were told not to like him. Oh, I forgot. You actually don't even know why you're there, probably. Because you watch TV. Because when I don't fucking like somebody, it's because I have reasons and I can name them.
But this is him giving this is painting him as a Nazi. I'm just curious what makes him a Nazi. Right? Yeah.
He's pretty self-declared that by his salutes.
He self-declared himself as a Nazi? I don't think so. That's Elon Musk doing the Hitler salute, right? Right? That's what that's supposed to be.
And this young protester had a lot of opinions for someone who self-proclaims as politically unengaged.
15.
Yeah, I just turned 15.
And are you feel like you're politically engaged?
Not much, but more than I want to be.
At 15 years old, nigga, I knew what the fuck was going on. I knew what racism was. I knew what the fuck niggas was marching for. How this nigga looked like all he do is sit around and play Minecraft or some shit. At 15 years old, my boy was already in the floor and I was already experienced with death. Because another nation killed him. At 15 years old, I already been slammed on the ground by cops, hit in the face with walkie-talkies and told, get the fuck out of here, nigga.
I feel like it's not, do you want right wing or left wing? It's, do you want a good government or a country that's in ruins? Like, or a world in ruins? Like, it's not about your ideals anymore.
You see, when you realize, like, 3 years from now, that kid will be 18 and probably won't learn anything else, and then you start realizing y'all draft motherfuckers at, like, 17, 18, and then say, go over there and hurt people for me. Get it? You do realize, like, yous are showing how yous are really, like, and you understand this, like, this idiocy and not knowing, and then saying I stand for something and I'm willing to die for it. It makes me think of y'all past, like that old lady said. Look at their past, and I think, how could they have done all those horrible things to us? And now I look at this kid and say, yeah, if I give that kid some drugs and say I'll give you free shit and women, that little nigga will do whatever because he's a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? All I gotta do is set the mood right, get him hopped up and mad at a certain group of people and say, I'll give you things. The fuck out of here, bro.
It's about, do you care about yourself? Do you care about the government? Do you care about people? Yeah.
Is there anything that you know about that this government is doing that particularly gets under your skin?
I think kind of firing all of the government workers, because...
Oh my god, let me save this kid. Like, literally. Like, are you kidding me? Like, we should fire all the government workers, cause that's gonna leave us so happy. So some random fucking Yahoo can be the president, you know? What the fuck, 15 years old and you're too stupid to realize if you get rid of everyone in the government, all the systems fall down, and that includes, you know, your money and shit, you goofy? I knew about, like, 15, I didn't know what the fuck the economy was, but I knew if we got rid of all the government, that means it's going to be a free fall out here. And whoever's the strongest people, those are going to be the people that run shit. Because, you know, human beings tend to fight for power.
Touch me!
I didn't touch you for nothing.
You touched me! Don't touch me!
You gotta be kidding me.
Knowing what they're protesting about,
You can read into it what you wish. Is it? A mockery of Black Lives Matter? No.
and as well as not knowing what they're
Oh, so you made a White Lives Matter because you're protesting now? It literally, it defeats the, what do you mean, White Lives Matter? Because I'm sure that's what she did. And, you know, copying the things we did to get better results for yourself, I don't think that's gonna work. You know, because in the game of life, when the bad guys or people see people do things one way, they usually make plans and other things where if the people do that again, they don't give a fuck because, you know, they made a plan and not give a fuck about that. So you guys copying what we do to get shit done is not gonna work. You know why? Because they don't give a fuck. They didn't give a fuck when we marched, you goofy ass niggas. You get it? They had tanks and fucking an army. The only reason we got civil rights is because they let us have it, you fucking goofy ass niggas. You don't understand that, but we do. That's what the ass whoopings were for. That's how you get shit done. You know your master's a violent war criminal, and you're like, well, you're gonna have to keep on fucking beating me until you give me what I want. And every day you got me out here, I'm not at work. So when your shit starts falling apart, and your enemies gain a foot on you and want to fuck your ass up, you gonna learn then.
Protesting about, the demonstrators showcase downright bizarre behavior.
Don't touch me!
I didn't touch you for nothing.
You touched me! Don't touch me!
You want some money? He's touching him.
Can we get someone around these people,
Yeah,
please?
walk around them, circle.
Elbows!
Easy, easy.
Elbows!
Easy,
Elbows!
easy.
No.
Easy.
You're not here to.
Wait.
You're not here for the protest.
Whoa.
Police!
What? Get the police. What did I do?
Don't feed the trolls!
No, get them.
Elbows around!
Elbows around. Holy cow. Don't let me go.
So a man that, is asking questions and shit, I don't know if he's a Trump supporter or whatever, you're gonna block his speech and throw him out and say, you can't be here, Wait up, so you mean to tell me you're gonna do the things that you're fighting against? You don't want that treatment, right? But you'll do that treatment. You see why I say your shit is irrelevant? It makes no sense. You don't even know what you're fighting for. You're fighting so you can remove him and you be the one doing things without even realizing it.
And this colourful character.
Hey friends, I just passed the Dunkin' Donuts, which is the most vague possible location I could possibly give you in Massachusetts. But besides being near a Dunkin' Donuts, which places me somewhere in Massachusetts, I mentioned I'm at the Hands Off Boston March, and it is the slowest march I have ever been in, and I could not be more happy about that.
What is a march supposed to be fast or something? Like, anyway, now that that's over, I just got one question for everybody that went. What did you accomplish? Did it do anything? And then I want you to ask yourself, how come when we go out there and protest, how come nothing gets done? You know? When you figure out why nothing got done and nothing's changing, maybe then you'll organize or you don't have a protest again. Or maybe you'll realize that shit don't matter. You know? Maybe you'll realize that there's a new way to do things because, usually people adapt to the things that happened from the past and they get ready for it. And then they say, I don't give a fuck if you do that again because what's it gonna do? You know what I mean? So maybe I should, instead of sucking dick and try to do what we do in March, how about you look at the civil rights leaders and see what the fuck they were saying? Instead of copying the foot soldiers. How about you go to Martin Luther King and do what he said to do? You know? How about that? Because I don't think he said get in a bunch of marching. Oh yeah, he did that and it did nothing. So what he said was stop buying shit. The only power a slave has is the fact that he's a consumer. So if I'm the consumer, then I'm your fucking boss. You know why? Because if I don't give you the money, you don't get paid. So how about you take your consumer power and, find out what, try to work that. Let's see if that plan will work. Against billionaires that own, things and could take massive amounts of losses. I'm like, yo, dog. Y'all niggas better understand all the old tricks from we got niggas trying to do shit from the 50s and 60s and we're in 2000 something, and then you gonna tell me to respect you old niggas for trying to do shit that, was from back in the day that really didn't get much done. Because, yeah, they passed them laws, but as I watch black people get unfairly treated and gunned down in the streets, and we have to protest about the rights that we supposedly have, and we have to tell you, remember, we have rights. You get it? You know what I mean? It kind of lets everyone know that, no, you have the rights when they feel like giving it to you. That's why it's called rights. And you're given those things. See, my father made the law. And that guaranteed every man certain freedoms and shit. But you people don't know nothing about the Bible no more. You think the Bible is written to keep people in check. You goofy ass don't even know if that's where most of you even get your fucking freedom from. Because you're fucking complete idiot ass niggas. You think men gave you your freedom. You don't even realize men have been using that book to fight against men taking our freedoms, you fucking goofy ass niggas. All love, all praise to the Most High.